for example, like on this side, right? I mean, if you wanted to do something that kind of changes or affects from the other side, I think there's too much light coming from this side. I mean, so this is too weak, right? So from this side, you know, kind of create negative feel and then put this, you're gonna like feel and notice this much more.
Do we want to do it? Sandbag. Jeden sandbag.
So I mean, as you guys can see, I mean this. But I mean, yeah. I mean, the fun thing with this is you can do this kind of stuff is very interesting. I mean, the idea of mixing, you know. I mean, if this was some kind of, you know, love story, and they are, you know, getting to know each other, and you want to like somehow modify the way, you know, kind of like you want to make it feel like slightly otherworldly, slightly awkward, like that. It's not. You can start with like a very natural thing, and then very like, like, you know, you can be subtle about it, and like little by little start doing these things, introducing this idea, and maybe by the end of your story, music video, or whatever, you go like full like crazy colors. Maybe it starts during the day and ends in the night, and it's all very like, you know, saturated colors, kind of like very trippy. So, but then yeah, I mean, I think that the beauty of this is that if you want to like just feel a little bit, add a little bit of feel light or yeah, just that kind of like to shape a little bit more, you can use this, and it's fantastic. And if it feels like it's too much, you can even diffuse it a little bit. You could bounce, you know, put it like and then bounce it and do like some sort of like. And I don't think they're strong enough. But if it was dark already, if we were in the night, you could put like maybe one or two of these and put them looking this way. You put the bounce here, and then you can put a diffusion on the other side. Again, like. The problem is like you do all that stuff and then you're like, well, yeah, but where do I put the camera? Where can they move? Yeah, lots of possibilities. So, I kind of like what these guys do, but natural stuff. I mean, the white.
It's green.
It's green now.
Now it's white. Back green.
Up with this, you know, like
yeah, greens and blues.
Listen, like I mean, I don't know if you guys were there, and I don't know if I said this yesterday, but I've been in situations where you have 2 trucks filled with stuff, like lights, dollies, whatever, and maybe you don't use any of that, just because you don't need it. So just because you have it doesn't mean you have to use it. And I took these things. Because I'm, you know, when it gets darker, like we'll definitely like use them and it's gonna be fun. But now it's more like, yeah, I mean, you could like, but again, if you have something specific that you're trying to achieve, you know, like,
Useless.
I wouldn't say useless, but again, there needs to be like some kind of like motivation. There has to be something that is dictated by the aesthetics and what you're doing. You know?
You have to be very well respected to be able to get a full truck of lights and not use any. Because here they would be like, what the fuck? You have so much money.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's like, you know, like the thing is like you have the truck and you have stuff, and you know, maybe, I don't know, some DPs love to use all the fucking lights all the time, and it's fine, I mean, but I always feel like less is more, and if you can work with one light, use one. If you need to, you use 2, and you know. But yeah, it's kind of, again, like
her up and
like, exactly, like maybe she's coming up, right?
Yes.
And then like you discover him, he looks a little bit, and then you're like, okay, what's happening? And then you know what I mean, like thinking in that's also like something that sometimes like the director, no, I mean, this is the situation, but you, being the cinematographer, you can like make the suggestions about like how are you revealing things. The director sometimes is the one that actually has like those ideas.
Yes.
But,
Yeah. We are telling the story through his point of view or hers.
Let's start with her. It's
Or you change in the middle. All these questions you need to ask yourself
and this is obviously
during
like,
the process.
but also like this is like considering this idea that you have that doing it in one shot. If you were like doing like little pieces, then of course you oh maybe the editor is gonna decide to start with him.
yes, it is.
And then you cut to her and like you connect because maybe like she walks and you see him in the background and you recognize him and blah blah blah, you know. So
But let's just take it as a one shot. No
Great.
cuts, okay?
take it as a one shot, which I like,
And start with her.
and try it with your idea of what you see, and then we'll think and see if there's like maybe a better option.
Yes, of course.
Maybe there isn't, but maybe there is.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. That one. It could be nice at the end.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
So that's why. And why the movement? Yes, we should start on her, then reveal him. Okay. Her on the stairs, and then the movement. Back.
Yeah, let's try.
Give it a try.
Akcja!
No, you'll see.
Yeah, she was too.
Marek,
To bolo tak umelé.
I was not the only one in the shot.
Stopnime to prosím ešte, sorry. Set a akcia!
Jsem trochu padal.
for example, this is again is like let's put that bit. Okay?
That could help to see that character. Like it's a moment like she's in a new city and she's lost, and all this information is you are giving to the audience just with this little pause with the mobile phone.
So
Akcja!
Kudně pojďte sem k nám. Bacha auto. Stopnime to, sorry, stopnime.
then when she comes, then you kind of like come around here.
Okay.
More like
Lebo teraz už to nemôžeme spraviť na to, lebo ja som mi povedal, že nech ma počká. Keď ma uvidí, tak sa už vychádzať.
Len tie timingy, lebo to je dôležité.
Poďme.
Tvorme na 2,8. Pekné. Škoda, že tu možno sme nemali. A to bol zámer, aby tam nebol?
Ja som to rezol, išiel som na ne proste. Lebo keby som išiel cez ksicht, tak musím robiť strašne taký šving. Hej.
A tu, ako modrý v modrom.
Hej.
so. I mean, it's not bad, right?
Okay.
Now, for example, like well, you know what? That was really nice. The timing, everything was great, but maybe it's a little bit too on the nose. meaning kind of like when you stop and you have him behind her, maybe it's like
It's obvious.
it's two of it, right? That something's gonna happen.
Okay.
I don't say I'm not gonna say we have to do it, but for example, like another option would be when you find her, like you don't go around her so much, you stay more like on this axis, and then when she starts walking, kind of like you forget about him, and then he kind of like he could either come the other way, or you know what I mean, like but you could adjust, fix that fairly easily. You know what I mean?
Around the camera.
Either his movement or your movement. You know, you're just like you're gonna move around her, but only when she starts walking. Like that pause that she has is only, and like you don't see him, and then she starts walking. You come around a little bit, and then you see him smash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. So if I'm the director, I'll say like I want one like that as an option. Okay, but this one was nice, of course.
But I would maybe comment that if making this as a runner is beneficial to the whole thing, if it would not be easier and more efficient to do it like you have this, because this first part I loved, but maybe from the first takes was even better than the last.
Right.
Then if you just take the part she's walking up the stairs, then she's looking in the phone, and then you can do some special pickup just over her shoulder with focus on him, that he's watching her, and then you can do another shot where she's going around, and then it's suddenly, and then you can, with the editor, I mean the director and the editor, then they can like precisely make the tempo and the rhythm of the scene, because this probably needs to be done 10 more times or 5 more times to get it perfect. But then the light will be gone because we have 24 minutes of light, and it's every take is different. So maybe how many takes we did? 4?
3 or 4.
So the same time would it take to make it like 4 shots, this scene in 4 shots? His point of view, her part, and then the grabbing of the thing, and maybe it would be better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the style, right? I mean, if it's a movie that is not very cutty and it's not about inserts or POVs or whatever, like if it's something that you want to do in one shot, I would say, well, shoot it, you know, until you get it perfect, even if the light is changing, because then if you're going to use one take,
it's going to be that take.
It doesn't matter which one it is, unless it's tied with something that comes after.
But maybe
you cannot cut them.
But then you would need to choose the part of the day what you want to have in the movie. Like if this is supposed to be early morning, this is perfect timing. If it's supposed to be magic hour or sunset, it's too late. Or you would never.
Possibly in grading,
You will miss the highlights. Or the broad daylight. This is, I mean, you know, you would need to think, if it's a runner, you need to know it in advance, and then prepare everything for that. You need to know that, okay, it's gonna take an hour and a half to make it perfect because of everything, you know. Because I don't like falling lines in the images, but that's my personal.
But also like getting closer is gonna help us sort of like with kind of like looking a little bit more up.
Give it down for me again. Tak, vidíte?
Kokos. Dobre, stačí. Ďakujem.